In 2025, the Steam Deck is actually not a bad choice at all. The only issue I have with it, and many of you who clicked on this video may have with it, is what games should you play on it? It's starting to show its age in 2025. You're not playing Skyrim Oblivion on here. You're not playing other games that have just come out or have even came out in the last 2 to even 3 years on here, especially if you like higher frame rates. So honestly, I'm not going to yap too much. I'm going to just get right to it. And the first game is the game you're actually watching right now, Black Ops 3 Zombies. But it looks different. Why does it look different? Because I downloaded a mod. I forgot the name at this exact moment, but once I remember, I'm going to put it on the screen and I'll leave a link down in the description. Now, I don't actually know if you can use the Steam Deck to download mods and then play them, but I downloaded this mod on the Windows version of my laptop, and then it just transferred over to the Steam Deck version as well. It just plays, it just all works right out of the box. That's what's so beautiful about Steam, SteamOS, and just the Steam Deck in general. If you are interested in this mod, it's specifically a zombies focused mod, and as you can see, one of the cool things it has is a map that's just based off of some Minecraft skyblock world that someone built, and it's just Minecraft style zombies, and it's like, it just looks really cool. They added in some new like vending machines too in the game, but the main crux of this mod is actually just bringing back the old guns of Call of Duty and bringing back different maps and putting them into Black Ops 3. So it's just a really fun mod if you check it out. I play Black Ops 3 Zombies on my Steam Deck and I get a rock solid 72 FPS at high settings at 800p. It looks absolutely beautiful, plays very smooth and beautiful with very minimal stutters. So check this one out. On to the next game. The next game I'm going to suggest is very good for people who like campaign style games, first person shooter games. This is called Metro 2033. Next, you have Metro Last Light and then Metro Redux. I can't speak to performance or anything on those. I haven't played them yet. I'm trying to play them in order. So right now I can only speak to Metro 2033. And it is a very fun first person shooter story game. Let me just run you through the like the setting and everything. I'm not going to spoil anything, don't worry. It takes place in a nuclear apocalypse where you're living in the tunnels of, I believe it's Moscow. So it's a Russian game. And you go to the surface and you can see on screen right now, there's like mutants from the, I guess from the radiation. And you fight those sometimes when you're on the surface. You always have a gas mask on. That gas mask can break. It can get dirty and you have to wipe it off. You have to change the filters on it. It's pretty immersive in that sense. And it's just a fun story game. So far, the story is kind of interesting. It's not like crazy interesting so far. Again, I'm not even that far into the game. But it's just a fun like game. And then when you're not fighting these mutants, you're actually fighting Nazis. So I'm not exactly sure what time frame this takes place in, but there's Nazis, so probably the 1940s. However, the guns seem a little more advanced than 1940s. I don't exactly know. As you can see here, the stealth mechanics aren't the best, but it's still fun. And that's only in some parts. This game goes on sale constantly. Right now, I believe it's not on sale, but you can find it on sale throughout the year. They just gave it away for free because of its anniversary. They're making a new one that's coming out, I believe, late 2025 or early 2026. So there will be even more story to immerse yourself into. And I really recommend you check it out. Now, there's a few different ways you can actually play this game. So if you want to target 30 FPS, you can do that, and you can set the TDP as low as 8 watts. And you'll get almost 4 hours of gameplay doing that. Now, if you want to target 45 FPS, which is a good sweet spot, it takes a second to get used to, and it actually feels really smooth, way smoother than 30. You'll get around 3 hours and 20 minutes doing that. And then I just skipped past 60 and went straight to, you can actually get a solid 72 FPS. It just stutters down to around 55, 60 every once in a while when it's loading stuff in. And that, you just turn off the TDP and you get around 2 hours of battery life, a little over 2 hours of battery life, if that's how you want to play with super smooth gameplay. This is all at like high settings, I believe, like just the normal settings that it sets you up with. There's not very much graphical settings to change on Metro 2033. Also, if you're watching this far into the video, hi, I'm Demontre, or Yo Mama's Bacon, whichever one you want to call me. You should definitely hit the like and subscribe to see other cool videos like this. I don't just make gaming videos, I make different types of videos. So subscribe and see if you like it. Comment your thoughts down below, because that's really the main reason I make videos, as of right now at least, is to see what other people think about the things I'm saying. Even if you want to leave a hate comment, roast me, whatever, leave it down. I don't care. I'm not gonna, I might, even if I get offended, I still don't care. I want you to roast me, leave a hate comment, do whatever you want. For real. What I want to talk about is Ultrakill. Now, this game is good if you like older style games, like retro games. This is beyond retro. This is like before I was born. This is like in the 90s. And but it's like a Doom type game. It's called Ultrakill. And honestly, the only reason I know about this is because I work at a middle school, and one of my students showed me this game. And I looked it up, and I was like, that actually looks pretty cool. And it probably runs great on the Steam Deck. So I bought it for like $7, and I found out that, yeah, it is actually really cool. It runs at pretty good settings at a rock solid 90 FPS if you have the OLED. If you have the LCD, obviously that's only 60 hertz, but you'll get your solid 60 FPS. It looks great. It never stutters or anything. And it's just a fun little game to play. Like, look at this gameplay. It just looks fun. Like, it's just cool. I don't even know what's going on. All I know is I'm having fun shooting these weird aliens and jumping around and speeding around and climbing walls and looking like I'm in a 1980s graphics game or something. It's actually so fun, and you can play it just how I described and go down to like 8 watts TDP. The beautiful land of Oros. So this is Far Cry Primal, and honestly it was like a middle slash throwaway type game for Ubisoft and the Far Cry franchise, but it's literally one of the best Far Cry games I've ever played. And I've played Far Cry 2, 3, no, I've played Far Cry, I think I played 2, but I know I for sure I played 3. I played 4 and unlocked every single thing in Far Cry 4 back in the day. Every single achievement, every single side mission, every single part of the map, every single thing on Far Cry, both Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4. I loved those two games. Far Cry 5 was okay. I still haven't finished it. But Far Cry 6 is okay. I still haven't finished it yet either. But Far Cry Primal, the only reason I haven't finished it is just because there's so much stuff you can do. There's so much stuff to like look around and explore, so much stuff going on. It has older graphics, but they still look good for today's time. They look great on the Steam Deck, even in 800p. You can play this game and get around 45, well no, actually I get a rock solid 45 FPS at the original settings, and you can turn the texture settings like all the way up. You can actually do that for most games. That's a fun fact. You can actually turn this texture settings up really high on most games, and it barely affects performance, if at all. I learned that, and it actually seems to be true for the most part for most games. Just so you know. But anyways, yes, Far Cry Primal is a major go on the Steam Deck. I actually finally finished the main story. Well, there's technically not a main story, but like all the main missions on the Steam Deck. Now I just got to do the tons of side missions that there still is, and then I'll be done with the story mode. It's not a traditional story mode. Check it out. It's really fun. And yeah, for our last game, it's going to be Mortal Kombat 11. This game runs great on the Steam Deck. I don't really need to tell you what Mortal Kombat is. Like, you should know what it is. If you know what games are, you know what it is. Just in case you don't, it's a fighting game. It has a bunch of characters made up, and it has some characters from other universes, like the Joker is in here and stuff like that. And it's just a fighting game where a bunch of different characters fight. With some have weird powers, some have cool abilities, whatever. It's very violent. But it's not necessarily usually gross violence that, like, it is very extremely gross violence actually, but something about it, it still doesn't bother you that much. Maybe I'm just desensitized. But yeah, it's a very fun game. It runs beautifully on the Steam Deck at high settings. You get, sometimes you dips down to 58 frames per second. You don't notice it. It's basically a rock solid 60. That stuttering you're seeing is unrelated to the Steam Deck itself. Yeah, this game is amazing on the Steam Deck, and you can actually lower the TDP down to 11, I believe it is, and get a little bit more battery life by doing that. So, yeah, Mortal Kombat 11, a major, major go. Timeless classic. Yes, the next game is GTA 5. This game is a testament to how well the Steam Deck can actually play. And this is just an honorable mention for reasons I'll get into in just a minute. But first, let me just tell you, you can play at high settings and get a good 55 FPS. For some reason, you can't quite touch 60 at a solid 60. You can do it, but it's not going to be solid. But if you want a solid frame rate, you can get a good 55 FPS. You don't really notice the difference, to be honest. But it's an amazing game at high settings. We're talking about high settings. Almost everything is cranked up to high on the Steam Deck, and you're just playing it. No ray tracing or anything, obviously. But yeah. Now, why is this just an honorable mention and not like, bro, this is the best game on the Steam Deck? Because before it was the best game. But now, because of Rockstar, not Valve, not Steam, not the Steam Deck itself, because of Rockstar, and they're unsupportive Linux, you cannot play this game online at all. And if you just want to play the story mode, you have to check in every single time you play and make sure you're online. They just added that recently as well. It pissed me off so much because I just finished playing it, replaying the campaign on my Steam Deck, and I was gonna play online for the first time in years and years and years on my Steam Deck the exact same day they banned it. Screw you, Rockstar.